Are we cool to throw a little shade at natural bodybuilding?
Whatever you need to do.
Let's say you're a baseball player and you grow up. Like, what's your dream?
To fucking crush home runs in Major League Baseball.
In Major League Baseball. Does anyone ever go, you know what? I want to be just the fucking best single A player.
Welcome to the Coach 'em Up podcast. My name's Tim Riley. If you're watching that, you probably already know this. Real quick, I need to level with you. Some of you, you've been around for a while, you know what's coming. Our analytics show, many of you are subscribed. Our analytics also show, many of you are not. What we know, science-based training talk today, almost certainly. But this is also backed by science. There are two types of people on this planet. There are subscribers and there are non-subscribers. So all my non-subscribers, you don't have to keep living like this. There is a better life. You can choose. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, do the right thing, make your family proud, become the person you are always meant to be. Look at yourself right now. Take a selfie, look in the mirror. Are you driving in the car, listen to this? Take a deep, long, hard look away from the road into the rearview mirror, hopefully at a stoplight, and say to yourself, is this the kind of person I want to be? You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. It's free. It helps us out. You're doing the right thing. Also, if you have a loved one, friend, family member, boss, coworker, they leave their phone unattended, don't read their text messages. It might really ruin your day. Subscribe them to the channel. Give them the gift that keeps on giving. Now that I've gotten that out of the way, I am thrilled, excited, pumped. Honestly, I've been, and look, I love everyone who comes on the show. I've been more excited about this episode than any in recent memory. I'm here with Nick Shaw. Nick, what's up, dude?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me on. Great to be here. I know you've had my colleague, Dr. Mike, on before. So I always have to lead with, I'm not going to be nearly as funny, but hopefully I'm slightly better looking. So maybe we have that going.
Yeah, I'm going to, Mike is very open about his appearance. You got him beat. I got to tell you, off the rip.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like hearing that.
We're off to a good start. You're better looking than Mike, and you're far less sweaty for what it's worth.
I'm not sure how true that is.
Is your shirt sticking to your chest right now?
Yeah.
It's a little warm in this podcast studio, people. It is.
I walked 1.5 blocks outside to get here, and I was
brutal.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
I didn't plan this, but I'm literally wearing all black, and I'm just like, why am I doing this in Austin in August? I'm like, why all black?
Yeah.
Bad choice.
Honestly, look, it's a bad choice. Sure, black attracts the sun. I got to tell you, though, you're going to sweat no matter what.
Yeah.
So you might as well wear the black so that the tremendous amount of sweating is less noticeable.
Yeah.
The beauty about that is that everyone else still notices. You just feel better about how little. Yeah. All right, dude. So I know who you are. We had an opportunity to kind of get to know each other a little bit better off camera before we started filming. Got a little bit of time to talk about you and Mike and how you met. But for the people who don't know you or aren't entirely familiar with who you are, can you give me a little bit about your background, who you are, and then how you ended up here in Austin, Texas with me?
Yeah. So CEO, co-founder of RP Strength, Renaissance Periodization. We go by both. I mean, no one can spell Renaissance Periodization though. So
they're big words.
I mean, to this day, I can barely spell it.
If you ask me right now to spell Renaissance,
I've done it enough times I can do it.
You can do it.
But
how long did it take?
Several years. But yeah, I mean, Mike and I first met in 2007. In the weight room at the University of Michigan. I'm born and raised in Michigan. Mike was, he was born in Moscow, Russia, moved over here when he was young, but he also went to Michigan. That's where we met, no joke, in the weight room.
Like all great relationships, where I met my girlfriend, weight room.
Right?
Yes.
It's a common bond. People working hard, all that. So funny story though, Mike was squatting 405 in the student weight room, which student weight room, you don't see
that's not happening.
No.
Yeah.
And I just remember looking at my roommate at the time, and we're just like,
what the fuck is this?
Okay, good. We can square. All right, good. I was like, what the fuck? And then I think like whatever, I was doing power cleans at like 225, which is like also kind of, you don't see that super often.
Yeah.
Basically he was like, what the fuck? So, it's like one of those things where you see someone, you kind of just acknowledge that like little head of like respect.
Yes.
He, I think he was running the Michigan Powerlifting Club.
Okay.
Which is still a thing today, actually. I think we usually donate a little bit of money to him each year. But he convinced me to join that. And, I got hooked, man, because like I was always into sports growing up, and I didn't have like a competitive outlet. I'm just sophomore in college. Like, the fuck am I supposed to be doing? Like,
right. What now?
Lifting, I don't know, some curls, some shit like that, whatever. But he got me hooked. And I did that meet. And then right after I started training with him full time. And that was kind of like my first foray into, bodybuilding kind of style training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you started working, was he training you? At that time, were y'all just trying to training together, kind of?
Well, a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. Funny story. So I probably weighed 180 pounds.
Okay. What do you weigh now?
Right now, 200.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like a good 200.
You're fucking solid right now, dude. I saw that before and after photo you posted, by the way. Well done.
Yeah. I'm in a good spot, man. I'm in like very close to, I don't want to say best shape of my life because I've competed and been like stage peeled,
right?
But I'm pretty close to it.
Yeah.
So I'm in a good spot, man.
Fuck
I feel real good about it. Yeah. So I weighed 180, and Mike's like, "All right, gain some weight." Awesome. I'm living in a dorm room at Michigan. He's like, when you go in, you're gonna take some Tupperware and like you're gonna bring some food back, right? You're gonna do one of those. And he's like, before you start every meal in the dorms. Because it's like a meal plan, right? You don't get unlimited. I was too poor to have unlimited, right? Because you can pay for that.
Yep.
But he's like, before lunch and dinner, he's like, I want you to start with soft serve ice cream. I'm like, okay, I can do that. Sure, sign me up.
Twist my arm. Yeah.
I want to say, probably gained like 20 pounds or so, something like that over, a month or two. And it was just fun, man. Just lifting our asses off. We had a good crew that trained there. I mean, I'm still friends with probably most of those people.
That's pretty
to this
special.
day. And that was kind of the beginning of like really getting serious into lifting. It was great.
So from there, obviously you and Mike build this juggernaut of a training system, and it's so much more than, what started off, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember getting y'all's, what I think was probably your first templates. I mean, was that the beginning? It was the templates, right? Was that the first product really you guys put out?
Almost. Second product.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was first?
So it's funny that you mentioned Juggernaut. So Chad Wesley Smith, right?
Well, that's how I found Mike.
Yeah. So 2014, Juggernaut, JTS, Chad Wesley Smith, they were all the rage. And I think at some point I convinced Mike to write an article for them. Because like someone had written an article. I remember the person. I'm not going to name him though. But they wrote an article and it was just like, it was bullshit. And I just said, Mike, like, you got to write something in response to this. And he did. And it was more or less along the lines of like, dieting's going to suck. Like, there's just no way around it at some point. And he wrote that. And I just remember a lot of like serious lifters were like, finally, someone fucking said it.
Nice.
Like, you don't have to bullshit around and be like, oh, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. It's like, no. You want to get serious results, you got to be serious about it. And that article did really well. We developed a really good relationship with Chad. So October of 2014, we launched the RP Diet 1.0, the ebook.
Okay.
And that was the first time we ever sold a product. We didn't even sell it on the RP site. I don't even know if we had a site back then. Like, people were just PayPaling us, right? Like, whatever. But that was a really big eye opener for both of us, because Mike and I just thought we'd be online coaches.
Yeah.
And I mean, we'd have been cool with that, because John Meadows is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, awesome. RIP.
Yeah.
But we just thought, hey, if we could be kind of like him, that'd be sick. And so we thought we had a pretty good process. Mike's obviously the content guy. He writes, creates all the products. So he wrote that book. Probably took him a couple of weeks to write, something like that. Put it into an ebook format, and then we sold it on Juggernaut's site. And then we ended up selling like, I don't know, let's say the first week, like 1,000 copies. Fuck. And you're selling it for like $27 or whatever. And we're doing a rev share with Juggernaut.
Sure.
So then all of a sudden you're like, wow, we just made like $30,000. We're like, the fuck? This is pretty sweet. And so Mike and I started chatting, and we're like, how do we take this system that we have, how do we take coaching, one-on-one coaching, how do we create a product around it? How do you make it into a product? And this is 2014, right? So there was no apps that did anything like this. And he's like, give me a weekend. And he took a weekend and he came back and he created all these digital Excel diet templates. And we're like, fuck it, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And we started selling them February of 2015. And I remember that's when we launched them. And we were like, you know what? Let's sell them for like $100. And they did pretty well. But the coolest thing wasn't like right when we started selling them. And by the way, when we first sold them, I was manually sending every single one via email.
Jesus Christ. So you would get an order and you would see the email and then you would go find the file and just send the email back.
Yep. I would copy paste like this. Hey,
thanks for purchasing.
Here's what's included. Yada, yada, yada. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we did that. And then funny enough, so we were in the process of moving from New York down to Charlotte. And I remember because like we were down there looking at houses all day and then still at the end of the day, it's like 9:00 at night. I still had like 100 emails to send out from like those products. I'm like, fuck, like this is not sustainable. But a couple months after we started selling those, people started posting their results online. And that's when things really started to get interesting. Because it's one thing to have a product, but then now people are posting on our behalf and saying, hey, here's my before and after. And people are like, what the fuck did you do to get in shape like that? And they're like, hey, I use these templates.
Yeah.
And that's when things really started to get interesting. And that was like the first ever hockey stick we had. And that was, like, to us, it was an eye opener of like, okay, this is now like the future. Like this is what we need to be doing. And then I kind of figured out how to, actually a guy named Zan Barksdale, he was like, he was a catcher. And so he sold stuff online. He's like, dude, you gotta automate this. And I was like, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
He's like, go talk to these people. So I flew out to Arizona. They helped me build out this like back end infrastructure and it just automated everything. So if someone orders, they're a male and they weigh 200 pounds, they get this file. And so like, again, once that happened, so we kind of had a little bit of a hockey stick, but then once we automated it, it really started to kind of go next level because then I didn't have to sit around for a couple hours a day just typing out emails to send to people, thanking them for their order. I could start doing other stuff and doing social media and all that stuff, customer service.
Yep.
And it was great, man. It was really sweet. Like that's when things really started to take off for us.
You know what's really awesome about hearing you say that? Because I still fall victim to this, even though I know reality isn't the case, in that I see your guys' end product.
Yeah.
Or where you are today.
Yeah.
Not your end product, but where you are today.
Yeah.
And in my mind, and I remember when things got started, like I was, I've always been into fitness and I was getting sober right at that time. And I remember I bought those templates. I was using it with my first clients and they were getting fucking results. I still have before and afters, Nick,
dude,
on my Instagram page from clients using those templates.
That's how we got our word out. That's what works. Nowadays, it doesn't really work because like Instagram doesn't give a shit about before and afters. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
But dude, we built, because up until 2020, 2021, I ran our Instagram account myself.
Whoa.
Like I loved it. I viewed it as a game, as a competition.
Yeah.
You just figure out like what works, what doesn't. Like I remember, man, we'd run giveaways with all these different companies. We'd get like 1,000 new followers a day or something like that from doing this, like, these crossover things. Now, again, like it's all changed. You can't really do that as much, but yeah, I loved it. And the coolest part is 90% of our content, 'cause I'm not that much of a creative person. Like if you look at my own personal Instagram, people be like, what the fuck are you doing over there? I'm like, I don't know.
I'm just doing stuff.
Yeah, I'm just doing, exactly. I'm doing stuff, whatever that stuff is.
Hell yeah. Well, whatever feels good, man, shut up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. As my father once said, if it feels good, do it.
Yeah.
He was wildly misquoted, but out of context, but I'll always remember that quote. But it was so good, man. 90% of the content was people, it was just reposting.
Yeah.
People because, there's a lot of people out there that have fancy content, really good looking content, and they would tag us and they'd be like, hey, here's my RP before and after. Here's my, RP diet template. Here's a meal that I'm using on it. Boom, just pull it, repost. Then people want that validation too of getting reposted on a big account.
Sure.
So it was just this never ending cycle where people were feeding us all this content for free.
So two things. One, hearing you, the fact you You really had no tech savvy.
No.
You had nothing automated. No. You were manually copy and pasting. It's just, that should be to anybody listening to this who has goals and aspirations of growing something large and special and unique. Like I think so often you feel like you have to have the skill set to begin, and you fucking don't. And if you wait around or tell yourself, I'll start when I'm this, it's never going to fucking materialize, man. I mean, more than likely not. I mean, what if you'd waited around till you had decided, I'm competent and creative enough to automate systems. Now I'll launch this thing, right?
Yeah, it would have been.
You don't hit your window.
Yeah, exactly. It's the whole idea of like MVP, minimum viable product, because we had no idea if the templates would ever work, right? And dude, they were Excel files.
Yeah.
I mean, you had them. They're not pretty to look at.
No.
But what did they do?
It worked.
They fucking worked.
It fucking worked.
And that was
and it was easy to understand.
Yep. That was our whole thing. We're like, let's just get people results. Mm-hmm. We get people results. They will talk. I mean, and then we would infiltrate gyms, and a couple people would get results. Everyone in that gym is going to be like, Sally, what the fuck?
100%.
How'd you get so lean? Well, I used the RP diet templates, and that's how word would spread. So we didn't. But again, it proved that it would work.
Yeah.
And so then like a year later, we got a ton of feedback. We updated them. And then
I got the updated ones too. They did look much better.
Were they still Excel or were they PDFs?
They were PDFs.
Okay, that was version 3.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we had a version of Excel, we called it 1.0. Then we had Diet Templates 2.0 about a year later. That was 2016.
Oh, you know what? I had 2.0 then.
Okay.
And then I got the PDFs.
Okay. Yeah.
So I actually didn't have 1.0.
Okay. Yeah. You're not officially an OG, but dude, I still meet people that are like, yeah, I had the OG templates back in 2015. Dude, that's a decade ago.
That's wild.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And so we eventually created PDFs, but the whole time we kind of knew that we wanted to make it into an app. And so, but like that app process just takes forever. If anyone listening is like, oh, yeah, I'm in software development, it just takes a really long time. And I don't think we actually launched our diet app until officially November of like 2018, but it was really a beta. Maybe not an alpha, I guess, a beta version. We didn't really publicly go live with it until May of 2019.
Oh, wow.
So you're talking, there's a,
that's a significant, when you're doing that, because, okay, when it comes to building a fitness app or a diet app, I think people assume, and certainly the process has been accelerated in recent years because AI, you have, that it is a game changer. But even still, the amount of time, effort, and frankly, money that goes into developing an app, I think people don't understand, because I'll hear people talk like, well, I'll just build an app for it. I'm like,
good luck.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
So it's
not like flipping a light switch, brother.
People come up to me and ask me, right? And I'm like, okay, so you're an athlete, you're an influencer, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you can build your own app. Mm-hmm. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it. Shut up. Don't do it. Stop. Go.
Why is everyone who has an app they all say the same thing?
They say the same fucking
Everyone
thing.
says don't fucking do it.
Don't do it. Here's what you do. You're an athlete, you're an influencer, whatever, you got some social media presence, you go use one of these out-of-the-box systems that's going to get you 80% of what you want. That last 20% is not worth the stress and headaches of managing your own software development team or going and hiring from people from another country.
Right.
And then then you're in charge of staying on top of all the updates. Apple or Google, they change anything, you're on the hook for it.
Yep.
Go pay for someone else's like out of the box thing that's some coaching platform type thing. Slap your logo on it. It's going to get you 80% of what you want. That other 20% is just not worth it.
Yeah.
So don't.
That I have consistently heard that feedback.
Why is that? Yeah.
It must be true.
Or everyone else?
No, or everyone's gatekeeping. Everyone is. I don't think they are.
I promise. Yeah. People ask me that shit all the time. I'm like, I'm going to stop you right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, pump the brakes there. Go get one of these other apps that they've kind of done most of this stuff for you, and you'll probably enjoy life a lot more.
So when you and Mike, you guys start this thing, and you put the template out, and you're kind of just like putting it out into the universe,
Yep.
seeing how it goes.
Yep.
Did the buck stop there? Did you guys have conversations around like growing into something larger or having a larger impact, or, you know, broadening the umbrella of what RP, the impact it's making from YouTube and Instagram and all these different platforms that you guys dominate now?
I mean, back then YouTube wasn't even a thing. Like, we weren't even on YouTube.
Fuck.
We didn't actually get on YouTube pretty serious. I mean, we had a YouTube channel.
Right.
It had like 30, 40K subscribers, like nothing crazy. Because we started off, it was all Instagram.
Yeah.
That's where everything was. And it wasn't until, what was it, like 2020 or 2021, Instagram really changed the game. And that's when that kind of stopped working. But once COVID hit, that's when we decided to lean into YouTube more. And now in hindsight, of course, we should have leaned into it more earlier. Because here's the thing, going back to 2014, I remember going to the University of Central Missouri. That's where Mike was teaching.
Okay.
I remember sitting in one of his classes. Now, I'm not too far removed from being in college myself at this point. I graduated in 2009 from Michigan. And it was something that I had just never seen before. Everyone in Mike's class was engaged. They were leaning forward. And they were laughing. And Mike's, you know, doing what Mike does.
Yes.
Jokes upon jokes upon jokes. And I just remember thinking, why is he doing this for 30 people in this classroom? Why is he not doing this for 30,000 people? And, you know, I don't remember exactly. I'm pretty sure I said to Mike at one point, like, dude, you need to be on YouTube.
Yeah.
But we had enough other things going on. And I think, you know, he was teaching for a while. I forget when he stopped teaching. He'd probably know the exact date. But it just never really worked out. And then COVID hit. And we thought, we had like we called RP Plus. We had a bunch of videos that Mike had done, but they were behind like a paywall.
Okay.
Like $10 a month or something like that.
Right.
It never really took off that much. And we just thought, let's just take all this and put it for free
over there
on YouTube. Just,
no shit.
You know, roll it out. And so we started doing that in 2020. You know, like, it's not like it immediately took off. Like, that's just not how it works. It doesn't work like that, you know, unless you're the, you know, the guy that stuck his face in the
the water.
Yeah,
the Saratoga water.
Yeah, whatever. That's pretty rare, right? It's like winning the lottery.
It is. It's like winning the lottery. Correct.
Count on that. That's not a strategy.
No,
right?
that's hope.
Yeah, that's you're gonna 1 in a million is gonna
Dumb
be
luck.
lucky.
Yeah.
But it just, we were like, all right. So we got Scott the video guy. He wasn't Scott the video guy then. He was just Scott. And, you know, because he was already filming with Mike and, you know, all that stuff. And we just started to lean into it a little bit more. And I remember probably didn't really start to do anything until maybe 2022, something like that. And then, like, once you pick up steam, it gets a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But that's just in general how success works. Like, once you start to get a little bit of social proof and people know your name, it gets a little bit easier. Because I remember one thing, you know, we would reach out to people we'd want to collab with and whatever. And, you know, if you don't have big numbers, people kind of just like blow you off a little bit.
Oh yeah. I've been there.
Right?
I've experienced it. And
Same.
I'm in my mind, I'm like, you know, part of me is like, motherfucker, I'm gonna make it.
Yep.
I believe in me.
Yeah.
But also, so it's like part of me feels like I'm a little pissed. But on the other end, it's like they only see what they can see, and they're working with what they know. How the fuck are they supposed to see how much I believe in me? You know?
Totally. But I'm sure you've also seen this too. Like, all right, well then once you get out there a little bit, like, it's if you reach out, it's a lot easier for collabs to happen.
Yes.
Or then people start reaching out to you.
Yes.
And so it helps create momentum. And then, I mean, shoot, 2024, I mean, dude, everyone in fitness knows who Mike is now.
Yep.
And that was part of the strategy of just, there was going to be a ton of content out there and we were going to give so much free shit away for people that they would know who RP is.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to establish ourselves as, if you want to know about hypertrophy training, we want us to be one of the top places you're gonna go.
Yeah.
But how do you do that? Well, you just give away tons of free content and tons of value to people. And like, we have people that literally have lost hundreds of pounds and transformed their lives. Like, they've never paid us a cent.
Yep.
People are like, well, isn't that bad? It's like, no.
No.
Fuck no. That's not bad at all.
It's part of what makes it go, first of all.
Exactly.
That's what makes it special.
Yeah.
And I love, it feels like so often, because what you're saying is really a fundamental principle
Yeah.
of sales is provide a lot of value.
Yeah.
Provide a lot of value. And it becomes one of those things I think people get, you get beat over the head with, particularly if I worked in personal training. I was a training manager. So that was like, a word I said often. But I don't think people actually understand what that means and what that does. Yeah. And there's a delayed gratification aspect to that as well, correct?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So the reason that people have a hard time with this is because it takes a long-term time horizon.
Yeah.
Because it's not hey, I'm going to give away free information and I'm going to become a millionaire overnight. That's not how it works.
Right.
But you start doing it and maybe you get one new client because someone sees that. Okay, well, one new client, then you do a good job, leads to a referral. Now you've got a couple people. Mm-hmm. Now you've got a handful. That's how it starts, but it requires that long-term time horizon, which, again, because of our society nowadays, people don't want that. Because you said this earlier, actually, you made a really good point. It's really hard because you only see like the end result. Like you only see what people are doing now. And so, I mean, shit, of the, almost 4 million YouTube subscribers we have, 3.99 of them weren't there, back in 2014 or 15.
That's a wild fucking way to think about it, but it's the truth.
And so they don't know, right? They don't know that, RP did all these other things first.
I remember watching a podcast with Mike. This is how I found Mike.
Yeah.
I just talked about this with Andrew. So everyone who saw the podcast last week, I'm talking about it again this week, but it was Chad.
Yeah.
And Mike still had some hair, and they were doing a podcast in a parking lot around like a bar top table. You know what I mean? It was, I don't know if it was like an event or something, but it was just the two of them having a discussion, And I was consuming the fuck out of that stuff because I was like, oh my God, these are people who.
Yeah, and Chad's great, man.
How important is timing, Nick? I mean, Jesus, because during that time frame, up until that point, if my memory serves me correctly, Juggernaut had broke the mold, really. Because up until that point, it was like Elite FTS, T-Nation, bodybuilding.com. It was sort of like these, there weren't many personal brands that were able to facilitate training information, education, or training plans, right? I think Jim Wendler had done 531 a little bit, you know what I mean? Before that. But it feels like as I look back on that time with some nostalgia, it's a cool time to think about.
100%, yeah.
It was kind of the Wild West. Like I feel like you guys, you seized the moment. Did you have an awareness of that at that time?
Hindsight's always 20/20.
Sure.
But because Mike and I have talked about that, we're like, you think we just got lucky? And listen, people that don't like us might say the answer is yes. But then I think, well, if we would have been really smart, we would have gotten into YouTube in 2014.
That's right.
But we didn't. We didn't even do it until 2020, 6 years later.
Yeah.
So we really, I actually remember the gentleman that told me to get on Instagram. Like I remember thinking, oh, God, this is fucking stupid. I don't want to do this.
Yes.
And I forget when it was. It was probably, I know it was around January. Now, whether that was 2012, 2013, I don't remember. But yeah, I remember starting the Instagram account because his name's Jason Pegg. If he's listening, hopefully he'll get a chuckle out of it. But he told me to do it, and I was like, fine. And then all of a sudden, whatever, hundreds of thousands of followers later, like, dude, I still remember, when we hit 10,000, when we hit 25,000, when we hit 50, when we hit 100, I was like, holy shit. Like, I remember all that stuff because again, I literally did it all. Like I was glued to my phone for however many years.
Zach, what's the best training app on the planet?
It has to be Train Heroic. Gone are the days of sending the old crusty PDF. Now we have a sleek new app.
It's easy to use. There's videos with descriptions. You get to track and log your weight, your reps. There's a community chat function. You can submit videos. You can get feedback.
How about the leaderboard, Tim?
I started using Train Heroic first as an athlete and someone who wanted to learn. Now I use it as a coach. Athletes and other coaches can go and be a part of my training community and get results.
Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just like to train, use the link in our description to find out how you can train on the best app in the world.
And join us on Train Heroic today. The Coach 'em Up podcast is now powered by Vald, the global leader in human measurement technologies. Whether you're working with elite athletes, Gen Pop, or return to play populations, Vald's tools are designed to give you objective, actionable data to help drive your decision making. From Nord boards, force decks, and smart speed timing gates, all which I use, Vald helps you measure what actually matters. Their technology is used and trusted by the NBA, NFL, EPL, and NCAA, as well as thousands of high-performance clinics and facilities around the world. If you're serious about performance, recovery, or precision coaching, Vald gives you the best tools to test, assess, and improve. Because remember, if you're not testing, you're just guessing. Follow the link below to learn more and request a demo. It makes me so happy to hear that because it's relatable.
Yeah.
And everything that I've built up to this point, I've been like the sole operator of,
Yep.
you know, and it's only literally in the past 10 days, I've brought someone else on board to help me because I was told you off air, I'm getting to the point where I have a lot of cool stuff going on, but now I'm just doing a shitty job at all of them. You know what I mean? And I'm like burnt out.
Dude.
And I can't keep up.
That's such a common like entrepreneurial thing though. Because when you start, you get started, you're so passionate that it feels weird to turn the keys over to someone else because you're like, well, no one cares as much as I do. And you're not wrong, but at the same point, I remember being, let's call it like 2016, maybe even 17, because we didn't have anyone working customer service. It was just, it's like me and one other person, more or less. And we just got burnt out. Like, fuck. We could not take a day off.
Yeah.
Because if we did, what would happen? We'd get further behind.
Yes.
And we made it a point that every single night before we go to bed, every email would be answered.
That's brutal. I mean, impressive that was the standard you set.
Sure.
Fuck me, dude.
But it laid the foundation.
Yeah.
Because then people are like, oh, like they have good customer service. Like they give a shit. And of course, there's always some ups and downs, and you always get some pissed off people that you can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't make everybody happy. Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about that for a second. That took me a long time to wrap my head around. You can't please everyone.
Yeah.
Because I was told, like, it's just my personality to be a people pleaser.
Yeah, I get that same.
And it used to really bother me when people would say something online, especially if it was negative about RP.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really fuck with me.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was like
you get real bent out of shape.
It would ruin
your day.
It would ruin my night. And now again, so this is the hard part because having two small kids. So not only that, but like RP was really starting to take off, and I had two small kids at the time.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a big old shit sandwich.
It is
trying to do all that, and yeah, it would do definitely right. Because someone says something like because we had a giant Facebook group. We still do, but it kind of would ebb and flow and it would get really active. And if people are saying bad stuff in there, that's the great part about social media is like you can't hide from negativity. Like if you actually, like, let's say you put out a product, there's an error in it or something, or there's something that people don't like, we're going to hear about it.
Yeah. And
not only that, but then other people that are other paying customers are going to see that too. And so like we have to be on it. We have to respond. So it's a little bit challenging because you couldn't really turn it off, so to speak.
Yes.
But again, all that, like, call those the early years, but it set the foundation of like, hey, RP is someone you can trust. Like, they're not just going to sell you some shit and, you're done with it. It's like, no, like they're around, they'll respond. They'll be quick to respond. They'll usually help you. And, if you have a question, like they probably have an answer or like some type of justification for why we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And again, it laid that foundation, right? You have to have a solid foundation before you can, build upwards.
It's on the people pleasing thing and the not being able to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
It's something I have online programs I sell, right? And because I care and because I know context is everything, you know where I'm going already.
I can imagine, yeah.
My first iterations of online programs and offerings, the amount of time it takes me to write is absurd. I'm obsessing. By the way, I'm truly an obsessive person. I mean, clinically diagnosed.
Okay.
When I get a hold of something and I love it, it's not like a passionate, fun thing. It's like I got to do this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You're all in.
But I love it. That's also it serves me, and then until it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I do this, like, I don't know if you've ever seen the meme. It's like the woman doing the math and all the quantum physics are floating around her head. But that's how I feel.
Zach Galifianakis. Shit, what's the movie Hangover? Yeah.
And so I want to make everybody happy. I'm going to program for everyone. And if this, then that. And I did that, and then my second version, I did it a little less. And then now the most recent program I launched in Cheat Code, it's an athletic training program, period. Here's the program. Yeah. This is the 4-day-a-week version, 6-day-a-week version, and it is what it is. And the beauty of that and arriving at that place is like there's still a painstaking amount of time, effort, care, and consideration.
Totally.
But understanding that not only can you not make everyone happy, the more you try to, the shittier the product becomes.
Totally. So this is a really big marketing lesson that I learned. It was that because, and I've done a couple presentations and talks on it with in front of a bunch of fitness coaches. And I used to pride myself and kind of RP as being Switzerland, just being neutral.
Yep.
And listen, it served us well for a while.
Yeah.
And then, 2020 was a real whirlwind, right? Social media in 2020 was...
It was a crazy ass place to be.
Yep. And I just remember, we were doing our best to be neutral and we were still getting just,
You can't do anything right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Good luck.
But that was a real good eye-opener for me because it led us down the path. And it wasn't an overnight thing.
Yeah.
But... You've had Mike on the podcast before.
I've had Mike on the podcast.
You were telling me that you had to cut out some significant chunks of the podcast because he's going off tangent.
Listen, if Zach isn't actually, because again, Zach has a real job. Is it okay if I share some of that? Because I'm good to share it here in this setting because Zach isn't actually with me in the room.
It's fine.
I can take the fault.
It's fine.
But Mike, and by the way, after I was like, Mike, you're good with everything we talked about. He was like, fuck yeah, let it rip. And I'm like,
Mike's
great.
an open book.
He is, which is one of the reasons he's so great.
Well, everything you're saying ties into exactly where I'm going with it. So yeah, please.
So he says to me before, everyone's going to love this. His first episode, this is my first time meeting Mike, which by the way, I talked about this on the last show. Mike, just a quick appreciation of Mike before I tell this story. I reached out to Mike, I DM'd him. Asked him to come on the podcast. He doesn't know me from fucking Adam. He says, I'd love to.
Yeah.
Our schedules didn't align. He said, Tim, I can't do it. Schedules don't work out. But next time in Austin, I'll let you know. And I'm thinking, there's no chance I'm ever going to hear from this guy again. But that was really nice of him to even respond. Yeah. That was my position. The motherfucker hits me up, messages me, and says, hey, man, I'm going to be in Austin. What times work for you? I'm like, work for me. He comes on the show, absolutely crushes it, and then is gracious enough to repost and reshare every single clip. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And we were not, as a show, in a place that someone who had reached a level of notoriety in the fitness space like him, if he hadn't reposted, reshared, he could have, it would have been understandable. Yeah. And he went out of his way to do those things. So all that to say, that's enough glaze for Mike. But it meant a lot, and it told me a lot about his character. Because as wild and as crazy as some of the shit he says, that right there, it told me everything I needed to know about him as a person.
Good.
Solid human. So before the podcast starts, he says, "By the way, gentlemen, how politically correct do I need to be for your show?" He was thoughtful enough to ask.
Oh, that's good.
And me, being me, I said, "Mike, I want him to be himself. I said, Mike, let it rip.
Fucking let it rip.
Those were my famous last words. I said, Mike, let it rip. We've got an editing team. Anything you say that can't be used, we'll pull it out of the show. I hit the start button. I do my normal spiel. And Mike he launches into this Michael Jackson bit about how he got fingered by Michael Jackson when he was a kid. And then the rest of the episode, he was doing callback humor based off of this whole bit. I'm going to ask him about it. It had to have been something. If he made that up on the spot, it was brilliant. But I'm dying laughing the whole episode. And poor Zach at the time, they're like getting ready to go to the Final Four. You know, he's got a real job at the University of Texas here in Austin.
Yeah.
He can't air any of this. So we had to edit it out. But I got to say, one day in the future, I think we should open the vault and let people see, because it was pure comedy. It was wonderful. But anyway, that's my Mike story.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, that perfectly ties into this, because we were Switzerland. And listen, I've known Mike since 2007, so I know how he is. People are always like, is he really like that off camera? I'm like, you got no idea. He's even worse.
He's even worse.
Because like everything he does online is a slightly toned down version of how he would be in real life. And that's right? Like that's the part that people don't get.
No.
He is authentically who he is. But again, and all this ties into the story, because I would always tell him, I was like, Mike, you know, I love you, but I'm like, you can't be as Mike online as you want to be. And because
we need level 7 Mike.
Level 5 Mike. The Michael Jackson thing is probably like a level 9 Mike.
Oh God.
Right?
It was wild. It was fucking hilarious though.
Yeah. And again, he's got the gift of the gab. He's got a gift. Like if you got a gift, you need to be using it, which goes back to the, you know, instead of being at UCM in front of 30 students, you need to be doing this for a lot more people. But it was, I just didn't know any better, because I didn't want to rock the boat.
Yep.
And so I was like, Mike, level 5.
Yeah.
And then 2020 hit and all that. And like, we were still getting blasted, like despite trying to be neutral, be for everyone. Cause I was like, Mike, as a business, I don't care if you're left, you're right. Like, I don't give a shit.
Doesn't matter.
You can still use our products.
Yep.
And it makes sense intuitively to kind of think like that.
Yep.
And then as I, started learning a little bit more about marketing, it's like, what do they kind of all say? And it's like, well, you lean into who you authentically are. Mm-hmm. And so over time, well, we went from, level 5 Mike to level 6. And the whole time I'm just like fucking clenched like this. I'm like, oh, dear Jesus, come
bracing
on.
For fucking
Don't get us canceled. Don't get us canceled. I'm like, come on. This is my whole life, baby. This is my whole life. Don't let us get canceled.
Got a lot of eggs in this basket.
And then you know what happened though? Because like to my surprise, people fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And they're like, we want more. So
how much of that do you think has to be with that being a time where, and look, it's not like that time's over necessarily, but it is not as it was.
Yeah.
It just isn't.
For sure. Yeah.
But that particular time frame, I wonder how much of the fact that worked really well for people was this general sense of feeling like you kind of had to watch everything you had to say. And Mike was one of those people who would just say what he was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit of timing. But again, it was still a little bit of a gradual thing to, going from level 5 to 6 to 7 to, call it where it's at now, like 8 or 9. Mm-hmm. I don't think we'll maybe ever get the full 10. Mike's been on some comedy podcasts. Maybe that's about as close to level 10 as we might get that I'll ever let publicly air.
I'll be sure to send you the Michael Jackson clip.
Please do. Yeah,
beforehand.
Please do. Yeah. Please do. But actually the turning point for all that was, and you'll appreciate this being a sports guy, being a football guy, was the Tom Brady roast. Yeah. When that came out, I couldn't stop laughing.
It was fucking funny.
It was hilarious.
It was really good.
Nikki Glaser was amazing.
Masterclass.
Like,
talk about changing your career for her.
Yeah. And I just remember the person I was watching it with at the time was like, what is wrong with you? And I was just like, I couldn't stop laughing, man. Who was the other guy? The male comedian. He was towards the end. Oh, man, he's everywhere now.
Oh, Tony. Was it Tony?
It wasn't Tony.
Shane. Was it Shane?
No, it wasn't Shane either. Damn it. whatever. He's kind of everywhere now, but it's watching those guys. I was like, wow. I was like, cancel culture is over.
Yeah.
Like you can actually be funny and people appreciate it. And again, I was like, that's great for us because now Mike can
say whatever.
Go to level 8 and 9.
Yes.
Not 10, but. But again, to me, it all goes back to like, it was this really good thing of RP started really leaning into who we were.
Yeah.
And that was, me, Mike, and Jared. Like we're kind of bodybuilders, meatheads at heart.
Yep.
And we love hypertrophy training. We love competing. And that's just who we are, man. So like that, it's great for us because the products that we sell, like we use ourselves every single day.
I'm glad you said that because it's a topic that I had jotted down. This is in the performance space, which I'm in. I've always worked with Gen Pop, but I've chosen to spend the majority of my time in the performance space. Yeah. I never played college sports. I dropped out of high school. I was a drug addict, alcoholic. I got arrested more than I probably went to class. And I've got 6 college credits under my belt. I've accomplished a lot in light of my history, right?
Okay.
But I say all that to say, I'll get questions from coaches who want to work with pros or work in high performance settings. And there's this conversation around how do I connect with the athletes? And if you haven't played or you don't have a history and you're just the strength coach, for some people, that can be a really difficult thing to find a way to connect with them, which leads me to the idea of walking the walk. I never played at any exception. I was a good athlete, but I had other, I was better at drinking than I was at playing basketball, right?
6 ounce or 12 ounce curls.
Yeah, many of them.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of nose beers too. You know what I'm saying? I was all over the place. I never played collegiate or pro sports, but I work with a ton of high level collegiate and pro athletes. You know what I do though? I train like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And oftentimes I'll do training sessions with the guys. It's my life. It's what I love to do. Arguably, I love just training in those settings more than I actually like training people in those settings, I love it.
Yeah.
And so my advice is, look, if you didn't play, you're having trouble connecting, are you doing the thing you're asking other people to do?
Yeah.
Because if you're not, and you want buy-in or you want to earn the respect of someone, that's you don't have to be good at it. You don't even have to be fucking good. Just live what you're preaching. It goes a long way with people. So I say all that to say, you, Mike, you guys walk the fucking walk, man.
Yeah.
You do the thing.
It actually goes back to why we actually started RP. We go back to before it ever technically existed. Mike and I were personal trainers in New York City. And
where were y'all at? What facility?
We were at 58th and Lex.
Okay.
Yep. But we would train down at 19th Street Gym.
Okay.
That's what it was called then. It's like Complete Body now. It's still a hell of a gym. 19th between 5th and 6th. But we would see all these guys training and, they were bigger than us at the time. Mm-hmm. So who are we to say shit? But we just watched how they trained and heard what they would say about nutrition and training. And we're just like, okay. It's interesting. They know something we don't. Maybe that something's just drugs.
More trend, yeah.
Could be, which, we didn't know anything about that at the time. But we wanted to be able to walk the walk.
Yeah.
And talk the talk.
Yep.
Because if you only have one, right? Like, let's say you're just a dumb meathead.
Yep.
Hey, you're going to be jacked and you get respect. But then you try asking that person why or how they're doing what they do, and you kind of you don't see the light bulbs come on.
Right.
Now, again, they train hard, which is arguably,
the most
biggest,
important piece.
Yeah,
right.
The biggest piece, right? To be able to train really hard for decades.
Yeah.
So, okay, you gotta give them that. And then on the flip side, if you got the little nerdy bookworms, 140 pounds, and they don't look like they train, mm-hmm. You're not taken seriously.
Yep.
And so the whole idea was we want to do both. And so we wanted to have people that had, PhDs or were, RDs or like master's degrees, things like that, but also competed themselves. So like some of our coaches are world champion jiu-jitsu grapplers. And actually, so she was on my flight down here because her and her husband, Derek, who are both RP coaches. They both live in Charlotte. So, I just happened to run into them at the airport.
Very cool.
Yeah. But so Dr. Jen Case is a PhD in nutrition, is a registered dietitian, and has won like 20 world championships in like jiu-jitsu. And so it's like, how do you argue with someone like that?
What a weapon of a human.
Yeah. Like, I'm not.
Got to get her on the show.
Sounds
awesome.
Yeah, she's actually down here this weekend. I could absolutely connect you. But again, that goes back to you walk the walk, you talk the talk. Like, what do you say to that person?
Yeah.
That can do both, right? Because, let's even use Mike as an example, right? Because obviously he's got the PhD. He's, great at teaching and educating and explaining things in a way that's really easy to understand. But it's like, what's the critique of Mike? Well, people love to critique him because he's not a pro bodybuilder, which, again, he doesn't have the best genetics for it. And so like, well, that's the critique that's levied against him.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but if you had both, you can't say shit.
You literally can't say shit.
Because how many PhD holders are there in the world that are also professional bodybuilders in the IFBB? I don't think there's
I don't know
any. There's a couple natural ones. But,
yeah.
Are we cool to throw a little shade at natural bodybuilding?
Whatever you need to do.
Okay. I'm a little bit kidding here when I say this, folks. So don't get too fired up. But it's like, does anyone grow up being like, let's say you're a baseball player and you grow up like, what's your dream?
To fucking crush home runs in the Major League Baseball.
In Major League Baseball. Does anyone ever go, you know what? I want to be just the fucking best single A player.
Ever. So just the best. Just like that guy was a hell of a single A player. Nobody wants that.
And I'm totally kidding. Natural bodybuilding is awesome. It's badass. Tons of smart people. But again, like there's no one out, again, to my knowledge, maybe there is. I would love for someone to correct me. IFBB Pro and also holds a PhD in like sport physiology or a related field.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I don't think there is anyone.
I wonder if Mike had started. I just feel like the bodybuilding field is so saturated now with a lot of talent. Here's an example. It's adjacent. I started jiu-jitsu when I was 4. And from the age of like 4 to 10, there had a 4-year period where I was national champion in jiu-jitsu and sport jiu-jitsu. My mom's got all the paper clippings and everything like that. Pretty fucking cool, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Now, if you see me on the street and you wanted to roll with me, any white belt in Austin would rip my fucking arm off. Let's be clear, okay? Like, there's a big difference from that age group, and you know what I mean? But also, another consideration there is the talent pool is wildly different from 94 to 2000 than it is.
Well, in 94, there was like 7 people training jiu-jitsu.
Literally, and I was one of them. And I mean, dude, I remember at that time watching the first UFC fights when it was the Gracies beating the fuck out of everybody, bare knuckle in gis, and it was wild. Like we would go to my sensei's house and he would get blackout drunk and we would all watch.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm real white trash.
Good role model. Where are you from?
Nashville, man.
Oh, okay.
But like not Tennessee, in the city, Tennessee. But like, yeah. I'm from Tennessee. It's a better way to say it.
Yeah, I'm from rural ass Michigan, man.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hometown, 2,000 people.
Hell yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. I most of my life I grew up in Spring Hill, Tennessee, which by the way is quite the city these days. But at the time when I moved there, it was just outside of Thompson Station. There was a sign. They had put up a sign. They were so proud. It said 14th fastest growing city in the nation. Now here's why. A Saturn, as in the vehicle company Saturn.
Oh, I remember. My brother drove a Saturn.
The Saturn plant had been erected overnight, and it just infused 2,000 jobs into but those were the only people that left. So everyone worked at the plant. You know what I mean? So it was a real.
So then when the plant got shut down.
It was dark. Yeah. It got dark. And it got shut down. Yeah. Fuck, I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. I got off on a tangent on. Okay. So the talent pool, completely different now with bodybuilding and bodybuilding content. And bodybuilding was like really the OG of the fitness explosion, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Arnold going back to what, the 80s? Well, 70s, 80s, yeah.
Yeah. The talent pool now today, I wonder if Mike just starts 10 years earlier and starts taking it seriously and starts, getting his drugs dialed and just doing the deal, really doing it for real. I wonder if it looks different for him. What do you think?
Well, so this goes back to, part of being a good coach is you have to experiment on yourself, right? And,
100%.
Coach friends and families. So one of the biggest mistakes we made was, around that like 2010 mark, about the time we were starting RP, is Mike's 5'6". I'm, charitably 5'9".
Does your driver's license say 5'9"?
I hope so. I'm pretty sure.
I have a friend, he's 5'7", and I'll rib him because people ask him how tall he is, and he says, my driver's license says I'm 5'9", and so we all get a laugh out of that.
I mean, I don't know what it says. It's right over there. I could probably look. But, maybe next time you start chatting, I'll pull it up. No, because I was going to say, about 5'8.5", let's say, but
sure.
5'9", whatever. But Mike and I were both like 260 at one point.
What?
Oh, yeah.
260 pounds.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. I've got pictures. Like I look.
You must have looked like you. What's that muscular genetic disorder?
Like this.
Just bloated.
Because we were not. I mean, we were probably 30% body fat.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
I see.
We weren't lean. Yeah, we weren't lean. That was the problem. Because we just thought wrongly at the time. We've since, we don't tell people this now. We tell people if they want to mass like half a pound a week for, maybe 3-4 months max.
Yes.
Like that's kind of it.
So you guys did the classic bulk at all costs.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what? It's fascinating you say that because your philosophy for as long as I can recall has not been that. It's been what you just mentioned,
But again, part of that is, before we would have people paying us money to do that, like we experimented with ourselves.
Right.
Because, that's usually what good coaches do. You tinker with things yourself to see what works and play around with it a little bit. And then, then you start to experiment with clients and whatnot. But because we just thought, get as big as possible.
Right.
Get as strong as possible. Like there's some truth to that. Like we were strong as shit. I pulled 500 for 15 when I weighed.
Fuck.
Yeah. I got the video from 2010 or 11, something
honestly,
like that.
worth it.
Yeah, no, dude. Just for that lift alone, #worth it. Yeah, no, my buddy Vinny's, this is in 19th Street Gym, of course. Dude, the whole gym had stopped and was looking at me.
Fuck yeah.
They were just like, what?
Yeah.
No belt, just straps.
Savage.
Just fucking ripping. it was fun, man. I mean, it was, one of the most fun times of my life because you just eat whatever the fuck you want. But, you gain a lot of excess fat. Well, then you want to be a bodybuilder. All that fat has to come back off at some point.
Yeah.
And so some of it's genetics. Like Mike, unfortunately, just because of that, he held on to a lot of that. Again, I don't know. I didn't have that problem. I was able to
tighten it right back up.
Yeah. But again, some of that's just genetics.
Yeah, it is.
Like I can be, 12, 15% body fat and I still have abs.
See, fuck you.
I know. Like that's why when I got back into it, I was like, I should probably do physique because I've got the genetics for it.
Yeah.
Like, it just is what it is. So, again, it's really important to walk the walk and to talk the talk.
Feather's like that too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's an asshole. I mean, dude, he could have been a D1 football player.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, oh, Jared, hey, I just did some lifts of this. And he's like, oh, yeah, I can do that for like 20. And I'm like, fuck you,
Jesus.
Dude. What an asshole. Yeah, Jared, fuck you.
The Coach 'em Up podcast has partnered with Eleiko.
Let's go.
Not only is Eleiko found in 85% of Power 5 schools, but they also offer at-home solutions from racks, flooring, rigs, barbells, bumper plates, your favorite accessories like straps and weightlifting belts, you name it, Eleiko's got you covered. Go to eleiko.com/coachemup and get access to the same equipment that they're using in the best facilities with the best athletes on the planet. This episode is brought to you
by friend of the show, David Gray of David Gray Rehab, creator of the absolute game-changing foot, ankle, and Achilles program. To date, it's helped over 8,000 people, including Zach and myself, get back to running, jumping, and playing pain-free. This program isn't just for athletes, it's also been used by coaches and physios in the NFL, NBA, and Premier League, as well as every other major sport. And if that wasn't impressive enough, you can get the full program 15% off lifetime access when you click the link in the show notes and use code TIM at checkout. Now, back to the show.
First of all, congratulations on RP. Truly. Honestly, you guys.
No, stop.
It's been cool to be.
Go on. Come on.
A participant, to watch, to have front row seats. And then for me, it's just someone who, I'm in this phase of my life where I'm seeing what I'm capable of, and I'm pushing myself in the entrepreneurial sense. I just have a ton of respect for what you guys have been able to accomplish and your sustained growth and success. It is tremendous. So
thank you so much, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys have earned every bit of it. And the common thread has been you have just done the best job for the longest time. Going back to that value thing, between the content, the product, it's been very evident. It's been in the constant pursuit of perfection to the precise extent that you can do that. That's been my outside perspective.
Yeah.
So
it goes back to when I first started RP, it was walk the walk, talk the talk, get people results. You get people results, things will fall into place. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if you got the prettiest product if you can get people results.
Yeah.
Because it's not like people are sitting around going, those Excel files, those are stupid. They were silly. It's like, no. Those got me jacked.
Yep.
And that's
I love those Excel files.
Exactly. So do I. For the longest time, we had custom training templates, or we call them male physique training templates.
I had them.
Yeah, I use those all the time.
They're great.
And then we threw it in our app, in the Hypertrophy app. It's everything and more. I use that for every single workout, the last 3.5 years since it became a thing. Again, it just goes back to authenticity. Someone were to ask me off the street what I do, I'd be like, I'd pull out my app and I'd be like, well, here's exactly what I do and here's how I do it. And I don't need a 30-page notebook because that's what I used to have, right?
Wow.
Years of training in it, and now it's just all in there. And it's great because I can be like, what did I do last week? Cool. I click a little button, it shows me exactly what I did. I know exactly what I need to do, and it's it is very spot on at predicting things.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, and I love it.
Throughout this whole process of building this thing, it's got to feel like a third child or something to you at this point.
100%. I've actually said that recently.
Really?
I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I've got my 2 kids, Zach and Emma, who are amazing kids, and then I've got RP.
What have you? In fact, I have a question that I have written down that's going to do a better. You said in a post.
Sorry, I can't reach my wallet. Otherwise, I'm going to try to pull out my ID.
See, you're 5'9" on your ID. You said emotional regulation is one of the most important predictors of success there is. My experience has been, to the precise extent that I've been able to impact other people positively, and grow as a coach, as a professional, as a father.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It has actually been preceded by the amount of time and effort I've been willing to put into my personal development just as a human being.
Oh, yeah.
How much have you grown and changed personally from the time you started, you met Mike in that gym, and you guys put together an Excel template to what the monster you guys have built today? How much of your own personal growth and development do you attribute to that success?
Night and day. Night and day. The way I can conduct myself in business settings, and you can use examples, right? Let's say, there's a real estate thing back in April that we had. It's not RP related, but
it was a thing.
It was a thing, and I just remember it's just you were saying earlier about the matrix and things are just flowing. Mm-hmm. I knew out of principle, I could have fought back. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, that's not worth it. It's going to cost me way more in time and energy. And so I was just very quickly able to be like, oh, okay, cool. this is bullshit, but whatever. I'm just going to pay this little amount of money to be done with it because I'm not going to put my mental effort and energy into this. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Like I can't control other people. I'm just going to control myself, which I'm still trying to teach and remind myself right now because it's very applicable in my personal life.
Sure.
Like, nope, I can only control me. I cannot control what other people do. So it's like, yeah, man, in 2018, I had a hernia surgery. And yeah, it sucked. But
Was it inguinal or was it like a protrusion in the ab wall?
They came in, they did, what was it, laparoscopic or whatever?
Yeah.
It was that one. So like it wasn't a huge deal, but I couldn't lift for a while, which, you know, for us meatheads, like that.
It sucks.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
But the reason I say that is because I started, the only thing I could do is walk. So I'd go walk around my neighborhood and I started listening to audiobooks. Like the first book I got back into was like listening to Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which like that's pretty, you know, standard one that people get into. But like from there, it launched me into all sorts. Like that's when I could not stop reading, listening to podcasts and all that. And it becomes addictive. Because then like you start reading and seeing enough stuff. Like that's actually how I wrote my first book. It ended up being during the COVID year because like that was just how I coped with, I had a bunch of personal shit going on and that was just my way of coping with it because I didn't know any better. But you just start seeing all these commonalities of like what makes people be successful. Now, whether it's in coaching, whether it's in business, whether it's in, you know, being one of the best athletes in the world, like successful people have things in common.
Yes.
You know, work ethic.
Yep.
Internal locus of control, right? So what can you control? Well, you can't control what other people are doing. You can't control what your competitors are doing. You just focus on you. Positive mindset, discipline, learning from failure, because you're never going to not fail.
Yep, 100%.
Successful people fail more than everyone, but they just keep going. They learn from it. You don't make the same mistake, you know, twice, right?
Yep.
I'm a huge Michigan football fan. So the reason that I say that, because we're about to roll out, well, I guess if this rolls out in 6 weeks, my boy Bryce Underwood's already been starting, but they say, you know, he's the number one recruit in the country, but he's like, you know, you're going to make mistakes as a freshman.
Yep.
There's no way around it.
Boy, what a stud that kid is.
And he's getting paid well. Good
Very
for him.
well.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah. Yeah. NIL, sweet, man.
It is.
It's hard to be mad because these kids, I mean, if you're one of the best in the country, like you should be getting
100%.
like, you know, rock on. But the thing that keeps coming out from all the fall reports is like he just doesn't make the same mistake twice.
God damn it.
So he's able to correct fast. So like if you can be going
Put up
against
with this kid for the next 3 fucking years.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's 3 years, right? Because if he's gone in 3, that means Michigan's probably in the playoffs the next few years.
Yep.
He's going to be, you know, a top 10 draft pick. But it's like you don't go in trying to be perfect because there is no such thing as perfect, right? Like you just you do the thing, you launch the thing. Like again, we look back. I mean, dude, it's. I am going to say it's embarrassing. It's not really embarrassing. Like I'm not actually embarrassed of our products because, dude, they made tons of money and like they laid the foundation for everything that we did.
Yep.
But you know, if we look at what we have now, it's like, okay, it's a little embarrassing, right? But that's just how it works. Like you don't come out of the gate. You don't come out of the gate with a finished product.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not how things work.
You mentioned earlier about the app too. You said you launched it, but you didn't like official launch it, and then you official launched it a year later, essentially.
Like, 6
it was the
months
same. Was it the same principle? You're like, let's get it out there. Let's get feedback. Let's perfect this thing.
That's what beta testing is, right?
Yeah. There's a saying in tech. It's oh God, now I'm gonna forget it. Of course, now the minute I bring it up, the premise is basically, don't wait until it's perfect. Launch it. Let the market dictate what perfection, quote unquote, 100%. is. But you just got to launch the motherfucker.
Yeah, that's lean startup. That's MVP, minimum viable product, because you have to have something, and then you have to give it to people that are either trusted folks that can give you feedback, and or people that are paying you money.
Yes,
and they say, I like this, this, and this. I don't like this and this. And you look at it and you go, okay, is that valid feedback? If so, cool. Let's tweak it. Let's try to, what can we do better? Yeah. It's the same thing with our templates, because the very first OG ones that we had, they were like very heavy on intra-workout carbs because we thought that was the thing. John Ivy,
oh God, I remember that.
Timing.
It would, in the template, it would be like 25 or however many based on your weight. Intra-workout, it would say intra.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, going back to, we experimented. I'm going to tell a funny story. There's one time when I was working out at New York Sports Club on 92nd and 3rd Avenue. And I had 240 grams of carbs via powdered Gatorade in my workout shake. How do you think that tasted? You ever go to like a
How important is practicality too when it comes to, right?
That's what we
It's
learned.
huge.
That's what we learned. Because, and again, we really got just bitch slapped in the face when we came out with the diet app from learning this, because we thought people wanted just the RP recommendations and guidelines.
Yeah.
And that is true.
Sure.
People, you cannot overstate how much the practicality component is hugely important.
Most important thing. What's pragmatic?
I don't give a shit what kind of plan you have. If no one can follow it, then the plan sucks. Like it's not. And so actually,
You're right.
I got a really good
You
story.
can draw the most beautiful map on the planet. If no one can read the motherfucker, who gives a shit?
Right. If it's written in
no one's getting
Chinese,
anywhere.
it's no good to me. Yeah. So two stories. You go to like a gas station, and you know how like the fountain drinks or whatever, like that syrup.
Yes.
Like if you've ever tasted just that syrup, it's fucking nasty.
Vile.
240 grams of carbs in a workout shake. That's what it was. It was terrible. So again, that was us learning, okay, we can't go that high.
Yeah.
But we were trying to figure out, what is that cutoff? How far can we push the envelope? So like, we're like, okay, maybe half of that. So 120, that's not too bad. Still can taste pretty good. And then this is like 2018. And I get one of the best CrossFit people in the world, like wants me to write a diet for him. And I'm like, this is my chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my fucking chance. This is it. I can't blow it. And I had the schedule. It's like 3 workouts a day. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I timed everything down to like the exact fucking minute. And I'm like, this is my finest work ever, baby.
Yes.
Like, I'm proud of it. I give it to this person. They never used it.
Wow.
Because why? Because it wasn't practical.
Yes.
And that was, so luckily I learned that then, because then I got the chance to work with Rich Froning later. And I remember of vividly recalling that and dialing things down a little bit to be like, you know what? I could aim for perfect and time this down to the exact minute and do all this. You know what? I'm going to back off a little bit, make it a little bit simpler, get some feedback from him. And then your plan ends up being better. It's not optimal, right?
Yes.
Everyone loves optimal.
Yep.
Okay, I hear that. And there's a time and a place for optimal. But if your plan is so optimized that people can't follow it, like, your plan fucking sucks.
Yeah. And to that point, Joe Padula was on the podcast recently, and he's a brilliant young sports performance coach. I think he's only 26 years old, and he's the head strength coach for Oklahoma softball, which they're like perennial.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there. Yeah. My daughter's in a
But
softball.
he's the real fucking deal, and just he's wise beyond his years. And he has this principle he operates through, which I used to always say, I don't want to be right, I want to get it right.
Yeah.
And
I love that.
But he actually summated it in a much more easy to say, much more well-known word is just pragmatism, you know?
Yeah.
Just making decisions that make the most sense given context, right?
Well, real quick, the context thing. So I love like when people online critique stuff, but they don't have the context, and you're like, okay,
Yeah, what are we doing?
what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's so easy to play armchair quarterback, you know? But, oh God, where was I going?
Pragmatic.
So optimal, this concept of optimal, well, that depends on your definition.
Yeah.
In my mind, any view of what is going to elicit the best response, assuming that's your goal, to get the best results, optimal results. Any view of what's considered optimal that leaves out the practicality piece is not truly optimal.
Yeah, no.
Not in the real world where people are living, breathing beings, and they don't want to slam back 240 fucking grams of Gatorade fucking mix, dude. Because it's fucking gross,
I would
you know?
not recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like I'm sure there's stuff you've tried before. You're like,
Dude.
oh, I'm never doing that with an athlete.
course.
Because that sucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but to your point, like what you did with Froning, you give them the thing, and then it's actually, you didn't make it perfect, which is the best thing you can do, because then he can give you feedback.
Yeah.
And then that revision that you collaborate on together, that you both agree on, is it probably that version is going to be as close to perfect as it can be.
No, and I got a great story off of that because he wanted to do kind of like a hybrid of like some of the RP diet template stuff, but also he wanted to fast in the morning.
Fuck.
And I was like, okay. And I told him, I was like, here's why I don't think this is optimal for you, given how much you train. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you still want to do this? And he said, yes. And so then I still kept the RP principles, right? Which is controlling for overall calories, overall macros, which is the two most important parts. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, well, the timing is not going to be spot on, but if we get the two bigger pieces of it, then it doesn't really matter if he's, not doing this little small part of what would be considered optimal.
Right.
And so I actually think a lot of times when new coaches get into coaching people, they latch on to the idea of, being evidence-based and being optimal. Mm-hmm. And they miss that part of it's a little bit of give and take, right? That there's 100%. An art in coaching.
Well, you just said it. That is coaching.
That is coaching. Yeah. And for new coaches, it takes a while to kind of catch on to that. Mm-hmm. Like it took me years. I started coaching people in 2012, 2013. I was still making those mistakes in 2018.
Sure.
But then I was like, okay. Yep. Even the best athletes in the world, you can't try to optimize everything because they just won't follow it.
No.
And you just can't latch on. Again, I think, coaches, they learn something one way and then they get kind of latched onto that particular idea.
Yep.
And they don't want to adapt it because they're like, well, no, but this exercise is the best. And it's like, well, fucking Johnny can't do that exercise, then.
Yeah. It's not the best exercise for Johnny.
It's exercise for it, yeah.
What is that? Do you think that that's like I feel like when it comes to things like that in my mind, it's impossible to distill it down to one thing.
A little bit, maybe?
I think ego. I think it's a fear of certainty, not having certainty. Yeah. There's an illusion of certainty. If I do what's considered optimal, then I'm going to get outcome.
Yeah. To me, it's
theoretically.
Yeah, to me, it's more ego because it's like I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, sure.
Good coaches, it's not a big deal to say to your client or say to someone, hey, this is what I would normally do. I'm not sure that's actually the best idea right here for you. Dude, that builds so much more trust.
It does.
With your client or athlete, whoever it is. They're like, oh yeah, right. You're expressing some vulnerability.
Yep.
And if they're a decent human being.
Yep.
They'll probably reciprocate that.
For sure.
And then guess what? Now your relationship builds better. Mm-hmm.
The opportunity to make coaching a collaborative endeavor too is so much. It's the better way. It's the better way. I've never had a scenario where I've been able to collab. Because then the cool thing is you're in it together, and if something doesn't go as planned, it can be we can have a conversation about what went wrong here and where we can go.
Yeah. Because
if I force you into the thing and you just don't do it or you just don't like it, you're going to resent me and you're going to hate it. You're going to hate the process. And ultimately, I've failed you as a coach, right? And then if someone you're working with is unwilling to collaborate on the other end, it's like, well, then maybe it's just not a good fit. Yeah, I'll see you. No thanks, but no thanks. Yeah.
Totally. It's hard with...
It's like that the professional space too.
Well, I was going to say it's hard to do that sometimes in the personal space when you've got kids. Like you said, you have a daughter. Oh
God, yeah.
Because, recently my son wanted to stop doing a sport that he had been doing. Mm-hmm. And well, it's your choice, I guess. I don't love it.
Yep.
But
yep.
Okay, it's not my life.
Yeah. So hard.
Very hard. Because again, if it was let's say a client of mine, it'd be the easiest thing in the world. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're good. And I'd be like, oh, okay, no, but okay, here's some other options. It's a lot harder when it's your own kid.
It is.
Okay.
You sure? You've put a lot of time into this.
You start something, you finish it.
I know. Dude, I'll never forget. I was in 7th grade and I was playing football. Mm-hmm. And we had practice and we were doing 2-a-days in middle school. Mm-hmm. And I was, just tall and skinny, and I was playing linebacker, and I was just getting my fucking ass kicked, okay? And I remember my dad's going to drop me off, and I'm in the front seat. I've got everything on except my shoulder pads and my helmet, and I've got that shit in the back seat. And I'm like, Dad, I fucking quit. I'm not going back. And he looked at me, he goes, no, the fuck you don't. He's like, you're going to go down on that field and practice. And I said, no, I'm not. And I remember I was in tears, you know. Yeah. He said, you get the fuck out of this car. He fucking made me. But God damn it, I ended up playing football all the way through my sophomore year, you know? And I'm really grateful that he didn't let me just roll over and quit right then.
Dude.
But then on the other end, there have been times with my daughter where it's like she's wanted to quit something, and I've been able to be like, okay, if you still feel this way in 3 months or whatever.
That's the thing.
Okay, we'll do it. And then it does. And she says, Dad, no, I'm done really. And I say, all right.
So that's a whole different thing. But you don't let one bad day or even 2 bad days dictate a decision.
100%.
No comment. No comment. I don't have a further comment at this time.
I know. Well, I don't get. Yeah,
I might have to cut this part out. Fuck.
Yeah. Being a parent in general is complicated.
Yeah, it's tough. It's because you're so attached, right? It's hard to detach because they're your own kid. They're your own flesh and blood. Like, you want to see them succeed so bad. It's different, you know, when you've got like a client or an athlete. Again, to some extent. Sure. Sometimes you can be really bought in, though, you know, when you got clients and athletes and all that. Like, but it's different when it's your own kid.
It's totally different.
Yeah, it's tricky.
If you know, you know. All right, man. I can't believe we've been hanging out for an hour and 20 minutes of already. We've got like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We've got some segments. And let's start with squat wedgies. Shout out Squat Wedgies, our first, that's the real name.
I love it.
Our first ever sponsor. They took a chance on us when no one else would or could, or frankly, maybe at the time.
I'm going to tee you up. Can you explain what Squat Wedgie is?
Well, yeah, 100%. Squat Wedgies is an adjustable squat wedge made out of full latex rubber. And
for your
it's for your heels.
Ah, okay.
Yes, squat deep, squat low with an upright torso.
Okay, I did.
Yeah, you can bury it. They have other products as well. They have like a tib bar and a Nordic curl platform. But yeah, man, I pitched them, and arguably a bad business decision given how much data we had at the time around where this podcast. It really worked out for them though. So
good.
Thanks for gambling on us, Squat Wedgies. Use code CoachEmUp15 to save 15% off at checkout. Nick, what are 3 ideas, principles, attitudes, actions, considerations someone should take or consider if they want to start building a business in the fitness space?
Can I sum it all up into one?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Please.
Go check out a book. It's called The Slight Edge Principle by Jeff Olson. And it's just the whole idea. And this applies to so many things in life. It's not just business. But it's like you just do the little things each day. They're not going to seem like these massive, crazy things, right? It could be make sure you hit your steps. Make sure you hit your meals, right? Make sure you hit your workout. Make sure, you know, you make those 10 sales calls, whatever it is, right? It's these little things, right? It's the behaviors. You don't control the outcomes. You just control the behaviors.
There you go.
If you keep doing these things on a daily basis, maybe it's, you know, reading 10 pages, whatever that book is. Mm-hmm. You practice 5 minutes of mindfulness. 5 minutes is 5 minutes, not that hard to do. That starts to compound over time, right? Just like compound interest. You save $1 a day, like whatever it is. It applies to everything. And it's such a beautiful concept. But so many people overlook those things because you're not moving the needle on one day, right? You're not making these huge changes. But holy shit, these little things, you start doing them every day for a week, a month, 3 months, a year, 5 years. Holy shit. Look at where you are now. Like when you begin, you do those things, you're now way up here. Mm-hmm. And again, it applies to everything. Mm-hmm. But it's so fucking boring and mundane that's why most people don't do it. Like that was one of the coolest things that I remember learning when I started reading all these books is like there's another book, and it's the same idea. I think it's called Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. Same idea. Mm-hmm. Like again, just think back to when I was telling the story of, making sure wouldn't go to bed until every email was answered. It wasn't a monumental thing on any given day, but now we do that for a whole year. Like whatever, how many thousands or tens of thousands of customers have we interacted with that now they all have a positive experience. So now they say, hey, you know what? Sally, you should check these people out because, hey, when I reached out to them, I had a problem, whatever. They responded right back and they helped me out or they resent it or they explained something, like whatever it is. So it's like this idea of these little actions on any given day don't matter. You're not wrong. They don't matter a ton per se. That's kind of the whole point.
Right. In the aggregate, they matter a lot.
Think about, any athlete, right? Just, you do your stretching and your warm up or whatever it is, right? Like, on any given day, it's not that big of a deal, but you do that long enough, like that's what develops those good patterns and habits. That's how you become a fucking champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it.
Something I've heard that reminds me of the ethos of what you're saying is suddenly doesn't happen all of a sudden. It also reminds me of the concept of just the tipping point in business.
Yeah.
You keep showing up, you keep doing the little things, and then eventually you're like, it's the same thing with fucking dieting and training too, isn't it?
It's all the same.
You one day you wake up, you see yourself in the mirror, you step in the sun, you go, God damn, when did that happen? It's like, motherfucker, it took 3 months, or whatever, or 2 years, or.
So recently I've said that I accidentally got really lean and some people are like, fuck you, you're an asshole. And I'm like, well, okay, I can elaborate, I can give you a little bit more context.
Right.
Like, one, I wouldn't encourage people to go through an insanely stressful period in your life. That fucking sucks.
It does.
It's
a great way to get ripped, though.
It's going to reduce your appetite. And also, if you experiment with some GLP-1s, it's also going to reduce your appetite. But I'm like, I never missed a training session during that whole time. I, never didn't hit my step count for that day. And because my appetite wasn't super high. I mean, I'm not overindulging on a bunch of cheat foods and stuff, but I'm still hitting my meal prep, things like that. Well, 6 weeks of that, shit, you just did a little diet phase you didn't even realize. And now you look pretty good.
Fucking peeled.
I don't hate it.
I need to have that happen accidentally. All right. Rant and rave, Nick. So we look at the fitness space at large. By the way, this is brought to you by Train Heroic, one of those wonderful apps you were talking about.
Yep.
They're Train Heroic's phenomenal.
Very familiar with them.
Love them. Click the link in the show notes. Join me there. Rant and rave. This is, look at the fitness space at large. Rant. Okay. Something you see, you're like, fuck, I wish I could see less of this. And then we'll bring it around full circle and we're going to let you rave. Okay. And I don't mean Amsterdam rave. I mean, we're going to let you rave. We're going to let you rave in the sense of like, there's something you're seeing that you love and you want to see more of in the space.
Oh, I think we briefly touched on earlier of just people wanting to talk shit when they don't have the context.
Yep.
Because it's so easy. It's just low-hanging fruit to just go talk shit about something. And I get it. Like social media kind of rewards that. I mean, hell, we even do a little bit of that, like with Mike's exercise scientist critiques. Like, I get it. But, a lot of times it's just so much stuff is taken out of context. That's one thing. The other is just like, the fuck does evidence-based even mean when you got like 16-year-old kids on TikTok who weigh 140 pounds who are like trying to tell people how to train? It's like,
my favorite is the stability thing with like the straps and it's like no range of motion. And it's like, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
To anyone that's, under the age of 20, it's like, just shut up for a bit and go train your ass off.
Yeah.
Right? It goes back to walk the walk, talk the talk.
Yeah.
Like until you're probably pushing 200 pounds, sorry, I'm not taking you that seriously. Right? Because like you got to pay your dues. You got to put in the time. You just got to do it. You got to do the work. Sorry. But like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because what matters, right? It's the consistency can mean many different things or training effort, training intensity, how hard you want to train. It's like, there's a consistency aspect to this of like, can you train hard for a decade? Do that and then come back and let's talk about it because now you've probably learned some cool shit. But if you're trying to tell me when you've been training for a year, dude, I've been training since I was 13. I'm 37 now. I've been training for almost 25 years. Like, shut the fuck up when you're 18. Like I've been training longer than you're alive.
Dude, this just happened. We just got back from the lake house. My girlfriend's family gets a Airbnb as a place every year. My daughter got up on skis for the first time.
Nice.
Big deal,
Yeah.
right? Fucking electric. She's smiling, laughing, almost like maniacally laughing, holding onto the ski. Well, what will be her cousin when Kelly and I get married, it's his turn to go. And first run, he eats shit, right? Adeline, my daughter, starts coaching him up and starts trying to tell him what to do. And Kelly and I both have clocked it immediately. We were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Pump the fucking brakes. You know, my daughter looked at me confused, like, what? And I was like, Adeline, you just learned this
Good
arguably
intent.
by accident, sweetie.
Yeah.
Why don't we let the adults who've been doing this their entire lives coach him up? And she was like, okay, you know.
Good intent, though, you know.
Great intent, wants to be helpful,
Yeah.
but you're not there yet, pal. Yeah.
No, I dig it.
All right, so what's a rave? What's some stuff you're seeing that you love, that you want to see more of?
Man, if we just look at the, fitness community in general now, when we started 10 years ago, whenever RP started, there was really no such thing as evidence-based.
Yep.
I mean, you had like three people doing it. Nowadays, man, I mean, the space has grown so much. It's tremendous. Like if you're just now starting out into fitness and let's say you are younger, there's so much good information
There
out there
really
that
is.
you can have. So like, it's hard to sort through it sometimes because there is so much.
Yep.
But to me, that's a good problem to have. So that's a good rave, man. Like there's just so much good information out there. YouTube is such a phenomenal resource for people. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I agree. I've had this conversation with other guests recently where my sentiment is kind of like what you shared. There's a lot of good information. There's a lot of bad information. Holy shit, it's way easier to find good information than it was 5-10 years ago. It just is.
Yeah.
All right. I love this question. This is brought to you by David Gray Rehab. Check out the foot, ankle, and Achilles program. I've used it. Zach used it to help rehab his torn Achilles. Use code TIM for 15% off at checkout. Nick, if you weren't a coach, what would you be and why?
If I wasn't a coach?
Yeah. If you weren't a coach and you weren't the founder of RP, let me get it all into.
I originally went to school at the University of Michigan. My degree was in sport management. I thought I was going to be an athletic director.
You're a football guy through and through.
I mean, I'm a sports guy through and through. I never played football growing up, actually. believe it or
Really?
not. Yeah. I was a runner.
Really?
I was a fucking cross-country runner, man.
Get the fuck out! So you're a sicko.
Yeah. One of the best compliments I ever received was my junior year in high school. The girls track coach saw me in the weight room.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Shaw, you're in here again?" I was like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "You're a gym rat." I said, "Yes, sir." Fuck yeah. I love training, man.
That's
So
awesome.
I trained jiu-jitsu for a while. I did the stereotypical thing where I got up to being a blue belt and then I quit.
Hell yeah, dude.
But I will say, I enjoyed training it. I did. I liked it. I didn't love it though.
Yep.
What did I love? I love training. I fucking love training. Love slinging around weights. I love getting that just sick pump. Fuck yeah.
Let's fucking go, dude.
I love it.
Incredible. Okay. This next segment, overrated versus underrated. This is powered by Vald. Click the link in the show notes. Request a demo. We love Vald. What are some ideas, principles, philosophies that surround hypertrophy currently that are overrated? And then same thing on the other side. What are some ideas, philosophies, principles that are underrated? And maybe it's one of each. Let me clarify.
Overrated is probably thinking that there's like an ideal exercise. Like there's not. I mean, there's a lot of context that has to go into it. For example, like I don't really barbell squat anymore.
Yep.
Like I'm going to use different machines because again, stimulus to fatigue ratio would dictate. Yeah, I can go load up a bunch of weight. I mean, it's fun from time to time. It's probably something you do when you're younger because you don't get your ass kicked as much. If I go try to squat 405 now, like, I'm not going to have a good time.
You're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bad time. But, go hack squat 405 for, a set of 10. Like, dude, that's sweet.
Yeah.
You don't get quite as much fatigue. That's probably overrated. Just thinking there's like a perfect exercise.
For the record, I have all my NFI guys hack squat unless they
cool.
specifically want to front squat or back squat.
Yeah.
We just hack squat now.
Cool. Yeah, great.
They love it.
I'm sure they're all performing way worse, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's ruined them. Yeah. Because they're stabilizer muscles,
Okay.
Yeah.
So underrated in hypertrophy. Like, I didn't realize this was a thing recently. Maybe this is more overrated, but like, people want to train low reps for hypertrophy, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Is the premise on that, from what I've been able to get through my algorithm, is that as long as you're close to failure, the rep range is irrelevant. That's the premise, right?
So you know a little bit about training. So let me give you an example of, okay, so go do 405 for like sets of 3, but do a bunch of sets of 3 because you're whatever close to failure. Tell me how you feel. Let's say 5 sets of 3. Or go do, 275 for like 3 sets of 10.
Yeah.
Tell me how you feel.
Yep.
And then tell me how you feel the next day. It's just one of those things where, like, when I first heard it, I thought people were joking.
Yep.
I was like, what? This is backwards.
Yep.
And then it started to be a thing where then I would look at the profiles and it would mostly be like 21, 22-year-olds. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you can train like that.
You go do that.
Yeah, go do that.
Do it for weeks at a time.
Great. You can. Cool. Like, that's kind of how Mike and I trained back in our 20s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now, Mike's 40. Like, I'm in my late 30s. I don't need all that fatigue from, trying to slap on a ton of weight. Like, dude, been there, done that before. I got 500 for 15 deadlift.
Yep.
I squatted, I think, Olympic style, ass to grass, 455 for like 10.
Fuck that.
Like, I think those are my 2 records. Like, okay,
Lord.
like, been there, done that. Like, I've slung some serious fucking weight before. It's cool. It's fun.
Yep.
Well, did you ever have like one specific song that you would listen to get really amped up for a particular lift?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so my deadlift song was Mudvayne Dig.
Oh, fuck yeah. Great choice.
And I would sensitize myself to it. If I ever heard it outside of the context of not deadlifting, I would not listen to it.
Whoa.
Because I wanted it to be like, it comes on and it's like,
now it's time.
let's fucking
Excellent
rip and
song.
rip.
That's in rotation for me still, for what it's worth.
I haven't listened to it in like 10 years, so I don't listen anymore. But like, it used to be my thing, man.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's so good.
I get it.
I got weight and bleed. If I'm in a squat and I'm going heavy, it's weight and bleed. Slipknot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that. Wait, we did both, right?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forget.
I mean, my underrated probably sucked, but
No, it didn't. No. It's fine. But what sucks is my crippling untreated ADHD. Pesky addiction. I can't take Adderall. All right. Solicited advice. By the way, sponsored by fucking Aleco. What they're doing sponsoring this podcast, I don't know. Someone needs to talk to that guy, Magnus, over there at Aleco. Ask him if he's okay.
Aleco's good shit, man.
I know. We're blessed and fortunate. They love us. The shout out all of Sweden and Aleco. Thank you. Coach 'em up 10% off Aleco products. All you have to do is click the link. You have to use our link. You have to use it, but you get 10% off Aleco. That's like getting 10% off a Porsche just by showing up to the dealership. Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Nick, tomorrow there's the RP event. There's gonna be so many fucking people there.
Yep.
You're going to be getting pulled in a million different directions. People are going to be wanting to shake your hand, talk to you, chat you up, and you're going to do it because you're a hell of a guy.
Hell yeah. I love it.
However,
Yeah.
during one of these interactions, for whatever reason, you are overcome, you're convicted, you have to share a piece of advice with this unsuspecting RP event goer, and it can be about anything. You're going to lay it on them, dude. What is that one piece of advice? And it can be about anything now, okay? It can be philosophical, training, life.
You don't want to know where my head went on the first one. Oh, fuck. I'm not going to go there because I'll tell you off camera.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Usually one of my biggest pieces of advice, it kind of ties into Slight Edge, but it's trying to think with a little bit like longer time horizon in mind. Like if you think about it, like all good things just take time.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks to hear that. Like let's say this hypothetical person tomorrow's an 18-year-old. Like they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
They don't. But fuck, had I known that shit at 18, and like I was a pretty disciplined 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Like we probably got complete 180 there from what you were saying versus how I operated.
Yep.
But if I just would have known, because again, when we go back to 2018 and I talk about really getting into reading and learning and self-development and all that stuff, I wish I would have probably done that 5 or 10 years earlier. But also, when you're that age, you probably just don't have the maturity to...
How much of it sticks even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can read, let's say, the same book when you're 18 and you read it again at 28 and you read it again at 38. Like the shit just hits different.
Totally.
Yeah. It just hits different.
It does.
It hits different, man. And I mean, shit, it could even be from 1 month to the next.
Yep.
Like you just read something and it just hits differently because you're going through something in your personal life, professional life, whatever it is, and it resonates for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people, if you listen to a lot of the same podcasts and stuff over and over, like, a lot of the core themes are repeated.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Because it might just be a guest says it a little bit differently or explains it in a story that kind of hits home with a particular person that someone's going to be like, whoa, shit, like, that's exactly what's happening in my life right now. Mm-hmm. So, just take it in stride. Just things are going to take longer than you think. It's inevitable.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Do you want to hear my joke?
Yeah.
First one?
I do.
Get a prenup.
That's also great advice. You know what's funny? Actually, Kelly, my girlfriend Kelly, she's wildly successful. I'm incredibly proud of her, and I've had front row seats. In fact, she's been such an inspiration to me watching her meteoric growth over the past several years. In addition to just being in my space, getting to meet people like you and Mike, and it's opened up my mind to the truth.
She coming tomorrow?
Yeah, she's coming.
Cool, good.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to meet her.
But watching her, it's enlightening because it opens my eyes to what's really possible.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, but to that point, she's so successful. If anyone's getting a prenup, it's her. Yes, that's where she's at, and we've already talked about it. All right, Nick. You're the fucking man. I'm glad we got to hang out, dude.
Right back at you.
You're as advertised. Everyone I've ever met has had nothing but good things to say about you, by the way.
I pay them.
So for the record.
I pay them all.
Well, you're making enough money now. Fucking RP's doing well enough. You fucking can. All right, everybody. That's Nick Shaw. I'm Tim Riley. If you've made it to this point of the show, we're truly grateful. Thank you for listening and watching. Subscribe. Remember, don't be too shy about subscribing a friend or family member unbeknownst to them. And we'll see you next time.